Why, hello, boys and girls. Feast your eyes on the look of old and tired. Now, a lot of people like to to talk, generally speak, publicly about their sad stories and how hard their lives were. And I guess I've been lucky and blessed that I came up quite comfortably and with a lot of love around me. Not that I don't have sad sob stories, things that happen later on in my life, but what's the point? To quote Bob Marley, every man think that his burden is the heaviest, heaviest. So I'm just gonna go and tell you a few stories. I'm gonna include the technotronic thing once and for all. That way I won't have to talk about it again afterwards. But let me just run through a few little tales. True stories. So my mommy was a proprietress and principal of the nursery school that most of her kids went to. Can't think of what the name was. But yes, so that's where I had my first crush. There was a little boy I had a crush on. I'm pretty sure he didn't really want to have much to do with me. But I managed to get a peck on the cheek from him. There was a mediator, another little boy, some middleman. But yeah, I had a dream back then, and I remember this dream. That dream was quite powerful. I wasn't but 4 years old. Yeah, and I dreamt that him and I were running toward each other in slow motion, and then when I reached him, he picked me up and he spun me around, and I was wearing a flowy dress that was, flowing with the breeze. Anyway, you get the picture. Yeah, that was my first crush. At around 4 too. Back then I was the youngest one, so I remember being told quite a few times that I was spoiled. Yeah. Used to go to Belgium every summer for the holidays to visit our relatives over there. And this one summer, when I was 4, the Commodores were giving a concert in Holland. And my father was good friends with their manager. His name was Benny. I'm not sure if his last name was Ashburn or something, but anyway, I know him as Benny. And we went to, they were going to go see the Commodores. I was 4 years old. I was supposed to stay behind. Of course, I cried and made a whole big drama. And my father said, "Oh, she's the youngest. Come on, she's the youngest." Don't ask me what being the youngest has to do with anything, but I ended up being allowed to go along. And another big crush I had was Lionel Richie on stage. Yeah, man. Lionel Richie on stage made a big impression on me. As a matter of fact, all throughout my younger years, whenever I see one musician playing an instrument and singing at the same time, for that moment, I'm in love. And that is very powerful. So, at 8 years old, we moved from Kinshasa to Nairobi. And my father got a new gig out there, a CEO of Air Zaire in Nairobi, for East Africa, actually, not just Nairobi, Uganda, other Tanzania, I think, Zambia, I don't know. Anyway, so we lived in Nairobi, and when we first got there, I guess we didn't have the house yet, so we pretty much lived at the Intercontinental Hotel for 2 months that summer, and that's where I started learning to speak English. My mom taught me how to say, may I have some hot chocolate, please? So that's one of the first things I learned. Of course, before then, we knew basic things like I love you and stuff. Because I remember the Benny guy at the Commodores concert. I don't know what I did or what I was on somebody's shoulders. I remember he was saying that. I don't know what it is that I did that he looked at me like, "Oh, I love you." And I was looking at him like, what's this grown man talking about I love you? I understood that I love you, Anyway, so yeah, so I started learning a little bit of English. I was really into it because I was really into anything American. Yeah. Wait, I'm not seeing myself. Let me click here. Okay. So I was into the English language very much. I remember getting books for St. Nicholas. Y'all got Santa Claus, Father Christmas, whatever. We had St. Nicholas. This comes on December 6th, and you wake up in the morning and the place is full of gifts and whatnot. And I got me some books that teach me English. I remember one particular book I had was, see, what do I see? I see a monkey in the tree. See, what do I see? I see a bee in the monkey's tree or something. I learned a lot of English with my books. Huh? And then, of course, we were living in Nairobi, so we got to see a lot of American TV, like sitcoms, Different Strokes, Good Times, The Jeffersons. We got, Love Boat, Solid Gold, Soul Train, and all that stuff. That was kind of cool. Among other shows, too. It's an Australian show. Mind Your Language. That was a cool show. Anyways, oh yeah, back then too, I was gonna marry me a black American. Oh yeah, like a mix between Todd Bridges, JT from Kool and the Gang, and Isaac, the bartender from The Love Boat. and we were gonna be like the television show Heart to Heart. I don't know if you remember Jonathan and Jennifer Hart. I used to love that TV show. My life is going to turn out like the black version of that. That dream turned to shit. But, I got to give that my American boy credit for something. He got the record company SBK in the States to change the cover of the Pump Up the Jam album, because originally, and in Europe, they released the Pump Up the Jam album cover giving Felly vocal credit, which she didn't utter a sound on that record. Sorry, girl. It's the truth again. But I'm gonna get into that story later on. Anyway, so got to the record company to re-release the record with a different cover, like a purplish, pinkish, fuchsia, and you see the credits are correct on that one, but it's the exact same recording, huh? So anyway, and yes, so anyway, when I was around 10 or something, I remember not being able to stand upright, really. My posture was totally, my shoulders were like down here, my back down here, my head always down. Yeah, I guess that's around the time you become really insecure and body conscious. I remember one holiday, my sister, my older sister, well, both of them, they, but pretty much the leader is like, we got to do something about that, and I guess, she kind of put her fist in my back, like, and twisted it, and then, my other sister, like, pull my shoulders back, and then, they put my chin up, and they fixed that problem in less than a minute. Okay, like, boom, and, not that I didn't know good posture. I mean, I've done gymnastics and ballet, although not like my two older sisters. Those ones got piano lessons and ballet that they followed through with, so they were quite good at that stuff. Me, I did piano lessons for a minute. I was still doing the one hand thing, and then the teacher threatened to pull my ears. I said, what? What? I quit. Hard head. Too bad. That's what I get. Anyways, oh yeah, around that same time when I was 10 years old, I remember this band Musical Youth. They did a cover. They released this Past Dutchie record. On the left hand side, it go, give me the music when me jump on France. Oh gosh, you don't know these guys. I love these guys. I love them so well. In as much as you can love people that you have never actually met. But I loved them. I was their number one fan. I mean, I had a total crush on the youngest one, Calvin, well, obviously, because he was closest to my age. I think he was born in 71, myself, 72. So, in my mind, that was my boyfriend to be or whatever. I used to dream about these guys at night in my sleep, like corny, sweet dream. Very innocent dream. I think I'd had this dream where Kelvin bought me some ice cream, and I just remember having dreams like with the big old helium-filled balloons, gigantic balloons, all kinds of colors, just very innocent dreams. But yeah, so this one Christmas holiday, we went to Mombasa, and when we got there, we got to unpack our Christmas gifts, and I was given their album. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, I promise you, I was in a trance. I was high for 2 weeks straight. Okay, I was 10 years old. Okay, it was not like I smoked anything or even drank anything. I was high. I was in a trance, just knowing that I had that album. And of course, I try to get the DJ to spin a few things off of there whenever I could. At night there usually be a DJ. So I got to listen to some of it. But I remember those 2 weeks. I was high. I was high as a kite. Just I was in the trance. Let's just put it like that. And naturally induced trance. So I've been kind of the boy crazy type, which is maybe the reason why I took on such a boyish look to mask the boy crazy one. Anyway, I think I was 12 years old, and I met this guy in Nairobi. His name was Donnie. I think he's an American citizen because he was born there, but he's a Kenyan guy. Yeah, but yeah, he was like probably 17, so I didn't really have no business with him. But me, anything American, so. I really, I wanted to, just hang out with this guy and whatnot. And I was scheduled to leave because I was there for the holidays. I was scheduled to leave back to Belgium, and I didn't want to because I wanted to go and, find a way to go and hang out with Don. So the next day, the day that I had to travel, that night, I manufactured my own homemade fake vomit. I mixed some Cerelac, Nestle Cerelac with pondu, that's cassava manioc. I mixed that. I don't know why I put salt in it. I don't know. I thought anyway, and there. And I put it on my pillow next to my bed, and when my father was said to come and wake me up, put my head next to my pillow with my little puke on there, and he came in the room like, "Oh, but you vomited," like, and your suitcase not even packed up, and oh Lord have mercy. So it was a rush thing. He just wanted to get me to the doctor, to get me on the plane on time. I didn't pack my suitcase, so he got his wife to come in and pack my suitcase. Of course, I was trying to what's the word? Procrastinate. I was trying to postpone the whole thing to miss my flight. So whatever she was putting out, I said, no, that's not the right way. And then of course I was doing everything slowly because I was supposedly sick. And on the ride there, I'm seeing like, oh my God, I'm looking at the clock, like, oh no, we're gonna make it. Oh no, first we went to town to see the doctor. The doctor said I probably have indigestion or something, whatever. Mind you, I was at the same time that I suddenly since we were downtown, there was a new rage. There was these plastic shoes that were all the rage, and I absolutely had to have a pair. So I kind of forgot I was sick. I went with my stepmother and bought some shoes. Anyway, then back in the car on the way to the airport now, I'm seeing that, oh crap, I'm gonna make this flight. So I'm like, it's He snatched the driver's newspaper. My dad, gave it to me like, I was like, no, stop the car, stop the car. And oh no, first I stopped. First they stopped the car. Then when it was taking forever, then he got me back in the car, took the driver's newspaper, gave it to me, just said puke in there. We got to the airport, and just so we got there, they say sorry, they just closed the doors, the airplane doors. So it's too late, So I'm thinking to myself, yes, and so as soon as the flight was gone, I'm like, I go to my dad, ask him for like a coin. What is the thing? I know they have shillings there, but anyway, it was like something that I could use to make a phone call with. And he's like, but aren't you sick? I'd forgotten I was sick. Oh God. Okay, so I missed my flight. I got to go home, but of course I had other plans. I wanted to, go and hang out with somebody. So I think probably that same day, maybe the next day. I don't know, but I wanted to go to the movies. He's like, dude, but you just think like, I'm sure he, but I still try to play it off. I'm sure he had me figured out, So I was actually thinking I was gonna meet this Donnie guy at the theater that I was gonna be allowed to go to the theater by myself. Yeah, of course not. So my dad took me. When I realized that, I couldn't shake him. I don't remember the whole thing, but I just know that I think while I was out there, I actually saw that I was supposed to meet the guy, and I think I saw, but he didn't see me, but I couldn't do nothing. Shame on me, shame on me. My papa, did he ever figure out that was some fake vomit? Anyway, papa, si tu vois ça, now I'm so sorry. Pardon. Okay. Anyway. So, what other little things I got here that I gotta do? Oh, yeah, well, yeah. I was gonna say, but, maybe I should make another video about my experiences with racism, coming from a place like, Africa, where pretty much the environment that I've been in is always with other mixed people. As a matter of fact, in the other Yakike True Stories I put out, I'm pointing to people in pictures, calling them my cousins. They're not actually my blood relatives, okay? Most of my blood relatives are either white or black. These are the children of other two couples. It's like my parents and their parents were best friends. There were three couples, and all of them were Zairian men with Belgian women. So we're all brown, and we call each other cousins because that's, we pretty much got to grow up together. So, but yeah, no, I was gonna say that I grew an aversion toward white boys, as boy crazy as I was, because in Belgium they really make me feel like crap. Like, I remember standing in line for lunch at school, and then suddenly, you get shoved because somebody's falling into you, and because these dudes be pushing their friends into me. Or you sit at the lunch table next to people, and then their friends pass by and see their friends sitting next to me, and they're like, zit who? Antwerp folk, you know what I'm saying, right? Zit who? Like, are you sitting well? Are you sitting comfortably? Like, making fun of their friends for sitting next to a negress. So, oh yeah, and I used to do when I was in, what was that, secondary, was it first or second year secondary? The music teacher organized auditions. They had this show that they put on called It Warm Conversation. Anyway, I took part in the audition, which I'm sure I only got through that audition because I had these flashing lights in my face, so I couldn't see anybody. But yeah, and I remember when I was with that group, it was called Warm Conversation. We used to do some shows. We even cut a record. I used to sing. I sang I'm Coming Out. Diana Ross's I'm Coming Out with three other girls. And then they put me in this dress, like with the midsection open, which, oh gosh, I'm sorry. I'm already insecure as it is. And that, anyway, yeah, so I'm standing. And I also did a new edition Cool It Now. Yeah, only I changed the she to he and stuff. And what else? I think we sang the Body Electric. What did I get to be in the choir for that one? I think so. Yeah. I also got to take part in West Side Story. I like to be in America. Okay, by me, but I sucked at teamwork. I was so insecure. I really sucked at teamwork. I'm sure that came across, you know. As a matter of fact, till this day, surely you must notice that the stage is not my comfort zone at all. Okay, so anyway, I remember doing standing on stage in front of a crowd that was made up of schoolboys. It was a boys' school, and before I even started singing, you know, I could hear them go like, "Blackie, Blackie," you know, things like that, you know, and that, you know, but you know, I still performed and shit. But those experiences, you know, made me like, you know, I ain't foxing with y'all, you know. But then again, having said that, I did have a steady boyfriend who's a famous DJ now. Big up. You know who he is. Yeah, he was a rapper. He came from another town, and you know, that was when I started, I started rapping too, you know, Me and Hit It from the Belgian Hip Hop Alliance. They put me on to rapping, so I started rapping too. And this dude was rapping. He's really good, and the way he sounded to me, in my mind, he was black. I knew he was black, you know. And I remember going to this party. He was gonna be there, and I'm like, you know, checking out all the black people that come through the door, asking, you know, is that him? Is that him? No, 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 no. At some point, I'm sitting on a chair, and somebody next to me said, "That's him," and he was standing right in front of me for a while. And he was a white dude. Anyway, you know, we became an item. We were 14 then, so we were young. But let me get to my Technotronic story. So where do I start with this Technotronic story? Okay, let me just okay, my Technotronic story. Let me get comfortable so I can try to not miss anything. It was a big deal, I suppose. Of course, it was a big deal. It's pretty much the reason why my life turned out the way it did, good or bad. So I was with back for a while with this guy. My boyfriend at the time. Let me tell his name. Is it TLP, me, Nee, DJ Sake, right? I guess, right? That was pretty much it. That was a hit. It was it. Anyway, Fresh Beat Production. That was the crew, whatever, and you know, we was trying to do some hip hop music. Yeah, back then. So I guess we must have been the only hip hop crew. I know for sure I was the only female MC around. You know. Anyway, yeah. I started off with these guys with breakdancing. Actually, the way I met these guys was there's a dance school out there. Should I pick them up real quick too? Dance school Hendrix, remember? And that's when I was 12 years old. My mom had seen an ad in the paper. I guess the owner had brought in breakdancer from the Bronx. His name was Julio Calderon. Yeah, that same dance school had in the past brought in the Village People. Yeah, the Village People. Matter of fact, when I was in Nairobi, I think maybe 11, when Can't Stop the Music came out, I was allowed to go with my sisters and their friends to go and watch it. I thought that was all that in a bag of chips. Of course, because it was American. Can't Stop the Music. Good Lord. BJ. Anyway, let me leave that alone. So, I lose my train of thought up in here. Oh, fuck. Okay, what was I saying? Can't Stop the Music. So, yeah, okay, the dance school. The dance school brought in the Puerto Rican guy from the Bronx, and he came there to teach breakdancing. And my mom had seen an ad in the paper, so I attended the classes. And then, I guess, after a while, they asked me to join their crew. They had a crew called the Antwerp Breakmasters, and I got to join the crew. Although I have to admit, I pretty much sucked. I'm not really been a good breakdancer. I might have had good backspins. I could moonwalk like a motherfucker. And I popped, and never knew how to do any windmills though. Basic moves. It was so, but not, never been very impressive. But that's how I met the guys, and then after a while, they kind of got me into rapping and stuff, and then we became sort of a crew. First, it was Kick the Bass. Our name was Kick the Bass. And then I guess the music guys, which is the DJ, Sake, and me, formed their own little crew, called themselves Fresh Beat Productions. And then I guess TLP went to do his own thing with a friend of his called Grasshopper. So they had their own little crew out there because they're from other town, yeah. And this other guy, how do you call him? A Too Tough MC, So it was Too Tough MC and me featuring for Fresh Beat or whatever. And this dude was looking for, oh my gosh, I'm taking up too much time with this shit. I gotta try to hurry this along. Okay, we heard, I got this cassette, They told me that this guy, he releases a lot of anonymous new beat records. That was a Belgian rage, it's that EDM type shit. And he wanted a female rapper on one of his records. So they gave me the instrumental, because it was an instrumental. The name of that instrumental was Technotronic. I think it was spelled with a K. And I got the cassette, I listened to it, and I kind of didn't really know what to do with it because they asked me to do something in the style of Inner City's Big Fun. Yeah. And I'm listening to the music, I'm thinking, this don't sound like no Inner City to me. So I don't really know what it, but then I don't really know what they want. But then I figured, okay, maybe they just want something repetitive, so. But I kind of, put it on the back burner, like let it sit. I didn't really pay attention to it until maybe 2 months after. Then I picked it back up again and said, okay. Because that was kind of our opportunity to do a record. We've had other opportunities, but they always fell through. We just wanted to cut a record and get our foot through the door, so to speak. And so, so I picked that cassette up and, listened to it again. And I was really into the pump sound. I remember Sweetie's track, Sweetie and Jazz Joyce is my beat. I love that one. And Zyko Langa Langa, pompe, injection. Something about the pump word. I don't know. I thought, he had a kick to it. Anyway, I took the tape out, listened to it, and maybe within 15 minutes I wrote the Pump Up the Jam lyrics. Don't act like it's a big deal, because if you listen to the lyric, it does not have much content. It shouldn't take anybody more than 15 minutes to write those lyrics. Huh? And the arrangement, the way it's arranged, that's pretty much Yo Bogart who chopped it up and, did that. So, so when I got the lyric and I, I let Nee hear it, he was like, yeah. And then, Seydou, yeah, okay, let's go to to guy Yo Bogart, who was the person looking for the vocalist on his track. We went and everybody was like, yeah. Because I remember at first when we were talking about recording this music, you were saying, okay, look, this is just to get our foot through the door. We don't have to put our names on it, because we were on something like Strictly Hip Hop shit right then. Even though we did kind of sound whack, to tell you the truth. But we were still very green and new. Anyways. So, So, when we got in the studio and I laid down those vocals, everybody was like, oh no, put her name on it. Put our name on it. And you see, the first release, the mix was bad. Yeah, the vocals were way low. The sleeve was, I think, black with little purple feet. Or was it purple with little black feet? I think it was black with little purple feet. And in yellow, it's spelled Technotronic, spelled with a K. Yeah. And then I guess that created a buzz among the DJs. And then from there on, this bigger record company, ARS, ARS, picked it up. And, I guess they're the ones who licensed it across the world. But they got me into a meeting and said, so it was the ARS people, yeah. I guess at that point I had signed a deal with Ua Bogart's record company, and that deal included me recording for Technotronic, an album with Fresh Beat Productions, and a solo record for me, yeah. Then this bigger record company, ARS, picked the record up. I don't know what the deal between him and Yo is, but anyway, I think it's almost like a 50-50 deal between the two of them. But they got me into a meeting and said, at that point too, it's like Fresh Beat Productions had kind of told me that they are their own crew and we are feature artists, like Tupac MC and me are feature artists, yeah. Now they had a manager, yeah. Anyway, and this manager apparently, concluded he was representing me too, but let's get that'll become a little clearly on. So at that point we got into a meeting. I guess it was that manager guy, was me, ARS people. I don't remember who all was there, but the thing is, they told me that, listen, in order to promote the record, we need you to sign, a contract. I'm like, sorry, no, I'm not going to sign. I don't have legal representation, blah blah blah. It's like I didn't want to get into no complex thing. I was not going to sign, without being totally clear about what I was saying. Besides the fact that, anyway, so yes, I said no, I'm not signing. I said okay, that's how we left it, yeah. The next thing you know, my crew them came to my place and told me that they saw the record in the store with some girl on it, and it said Technotronic featuring Feli. Okay, now I didn't realize this was going to happen. I would have thought before they made a move like that, I would have been consulted somehow. In my mind, I thought, it wouldn't be a bad idea to just have dancers, promote the record, instead of having a singer, let the singer be mysterious and let there be like a dance crew doing their thing or whatever, if they'd have asked me. But that never happened, yeah. The next thing you know, it's like, boom, the record's in the store, there's a girl on it. Before you know it, it's like interviews with the girl in magazine. The record had said that she did the vocals. I never, I'd never met the girl. I know my voice, and I know the voice on that record was just my own, Oh, God have mercy. Anyways, so yeah, so I've told this story so many times that I'm kind of over it, but I thought, let me just put the whole thing out there. That way, if you want to know, you can reference this. So next thing you know, there's a video out with her, lip syncing to my voice. I was like, like what is this? My career is finished. Somebody else is out there running around with my voice. What do I do now? Come out with the same voice? So no, me and my crew, we started going to, especially me, DJ C, we started going to radio stations, and doing that shit like live on the air, telling them the story, that they suddenly poof, there's a girl, there's record featuring Feli, and that's my voice, and I would do it live on the radio. Okay, now I heard through the grapevine, yeah, that they were going to release a second single. By then, we had recorded an album. Yeah, I only had 5 songs on that album. Yeah. Anyways, so they were going to release a second single, Get Up, and I heard that Feli was going to do that as well. I'm like, what? When I called Yo up, I'm like, I thought we agreed this would never happen again. He's like, oh, miscommunication manager. I don't know the manager apparently said, I want nothing to do with it. I don't really know what that manager supposedly said or didn't say, you know, but I wasn't really like discussing things with him like that. Anyway, so I'm with Yo Bogart on the phone. He's like, no, don't worry, you know, we'll fly both of you to London. We're shooting a video in London. We'll fly both of you, you know, to London. We will figure it out, you know. And then you know, yeah, I went to London to shoot the Get Up video. That's where I met MC Eric, who had also been recording for the Technotronic record. I heard as soon as I got there that Feli was supposed to come there, was now threatening suicide. I guess because I was suddenly in the picture. Yeah, that supposedly her relatives had called her, or some relative had left a message saying, calling her a liar, 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 you know, blah blah, and she was threatening suicide. Before doing the video, I also know I was at the hotel. They called me down. I guess the A&R from ARS had called me down, like to the whatever, this comfortable little area downstairs, so that I could have a meeting face to face with Feli. Yeah. And also to talk me into signing a press release that stated that all the rumors that were going around saying that Feli was not the singer were a lie. Okay, they wanted me to sign a press release saying that the truth was a lie. Okay? But before they tried to do that to me, I was sitting down having a conversation with Feli. She's telling me, oh, I was 17 then. She was 25. She said, I'm 25. You don't have the life experience that I do. If people know about this, it will break me. I'm like, but you knew you weren't singing the song when you sang it. What's the, you know, like, how would you? Oh, but they told me you weren't interested and blah, blah. Apparently, she had signed a deal with the company, you know, to lie, say that she did it, to supposedly that I'm the one who taught her how to sing it. Anyways, and then after I had my conversation with her, you know, the guy from the air company tried to talk me into signing this press release that, you know, claimed that all the rumors going around that Feli was not the vocalist was a lie. Of course, me's waterfalls coming out of my eyes, you know, blue, blue. And of course, I didn't sign that press release. Okay. What else can I say about that story? I guess that's about it. I'm already 37 minutes into this video, and I don't like to put up long ass videos, so yeah, maybe 2 more little tales. You know, I lived in Virginia back in, was it 1993 probably? It's this big old property in the middle of nowhere, and out in the yard, which was a few acres, there was like a fence. Maybe they had horses in there before, I don't know, a wooden fence. And now I'm just standing on that fence. You know, the house is kind of far, but you know, I'm just standing on that fence looking in the distance like hills, you know, and I'm seeing these 2 dogs. One looked brown, no, what I thought were cows. Okay, one was brown, one was black. I thought they were cows at first. And then suddenly I noticed that they're moving kind of fast to be cows, you know? And then I noticed, no, these cannot be no cows. They have to be dogs. And then I kind of panicked because I'm thinking, oh, I'm in Virginia, in the middle of nowhere in Virginia. This used to be a slave state, okay? There's white people that train their dogs to kill black people. What? Ooh, boom, 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 boom. Those things are coming at me quick, you know? I knew I had no time to run back to the house because it's way out there. So I stood on the wooden planks like high, and the dogs came to me, you know, and as soon as they got to me, I started bawling, I like belching, I like singing, you know, at the top of my lungs, but this like Arabic kind of sounding stuff. I'm not gonna try to do it because this really came like it was like, you know, do or die. So it really, ooh, and it felt really powerful. And I swear, man, them dogs, they were gone. Yeah, it was quite, I impressed myself there. And yeah, you know, there was a while I lived by myself, I live by myself in the northeast Bronx there. So, you know, I had my little black Honda Civic EX. And I was rolling solo pretty much, you know. I noticed though, you know, that, you know, I felt very safe, you know. I hardly cleaned my car. I thought I'd let it look nice and dirty so it would be unattractive. The only time I got my car keyed was in Teaneck, New Jersey. I don't know why, you know. But, you know, yeah. But I noticed that people were scared of me sometimes, you know, which made me feel very safe, kind of, you know. I don't mind. You know, I remember getting to my apartment. I had to take the elevator up. So I'm in the elevator. Before the door closes, 2 girls trying to come in. One of them is okay, and the other one is like just standing there. You know, and her friend is like, just get in. And she's like, you know, so I noticed she's staring at me like, you know, like I'm dangerous or some shit. You know, I said, okay, look, huh? You know, out me, I gotta go, huh? Okay. Gone, huh? Okay. But I guess it was my baggy clothes and my, you know, I know where I'm going stride, and you know, I know people often thought that I was strapped under my big ass coat. And I guess the body language, you know, I guess depending on the clothes I wear, maybe my body language might change or whatever. And oh my lord, I need to cut this video. I don't like posting long videos like that, so hasta la vista. Bye bye. Bye bye.